Today, Cuba issued a call for help after lightning sparked a massive fire at a fuel depot. Look at that tower of flame. It happened about 60 miles east of Havana. Several firefighters are missing. More than 70 people reported hurt.
I want to draw our attention to something that has not been talked about a lot in the mainstream media, and that is the fact that Cuba is ablaze. Some of you may have heard that in the earlier part of this month, lightning struck some oil tanks, and that caused, as I'm sure we all can imagine, a lot of disruption on the island of Cuba, and they need our help. And I want to thank Common Dreams for writing such a detailed article, and it was authored by Natasha Bannon and Madeir Benjamin. And the headline reads, "While Cuba deals with blazing fire, the U.S. heartlessly watches and waits." Absolutely makes no sense to do that and to put geopolitical or any other types of politics ahead of helping the people of this nation. We're going to go a little deeper. And this situation is having a real detrimental impact on Cuba. I mean, this was the largest oil-related fire in the history of that nation. People injured, people hospitalized. The firefighters that were fighting the blaze, there are a few firefighters missing that they can't find. I mean, it just makes no sense that the United States of America wouldn't be one of the first nations to jump in and give support to this country other than technical support. I mean, technically, we should be in there helping the citizens of Cuba and not just giving lip service. See, when people are in a crisis like this, they don't need you to talk about it. They need you to be about it. And we do, as a nation, have a moral obligation to be about it for the citizens of Cuba. And also, the article reminds us that when Hurricane Katrina hit, Cuba was one of the first nations to say, hey, we're going to send some doctors in to help. Now, the United States of America turned their help down. Stupid. They did. Turned it down. But they were there. They didn't let the fight, the political divide between our nation stop them from offering our people help. And we know who suffered disproportionately during Hurricane Katrina. That's another story for another time. What the United States is doing right now is akin to you saying, I'm drowning. And the person that can help you says, okay, but I'm just going to send you some technical support. This is serious. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, what affects one directly affects us all indirectly. So we should care about this. Now, I want to make sure that we, the collective we, are made aware of this, and that we, stand in the gap, say something about this, look for organizations that are trying their best to help. So going back to the article of Bannon and Benjamin, this is a very important point. The U.S., on the other hand, offered technical assistance, which amounted to phone consultations, despite having invaluable expertise and experience with major fires. The U.S. has not sent personnel, equipment, planes, materials, or other resources to its neighbor that would actually help minimize the risk of human life or the risk to human life and the environment. But for no other reason that we all occupy the same environment, period. The same air, the same water, period. But they have not sent the help that they need. So I just inquiring minds want to know. We helping our sisters and brothers and family and friends over in the Ukraine, which I don't have a problem with that. Yet now we can't help our family and friends and our neighbors in Cuba with this crisis. War, humanitarian support. It just doesn't add up. It does not make sense. So if you scratching your head too and having a WTF moment, welcome to the club. We should be helping the Cuban people and put aside petty politics to save lives. Because if it was us, we want somebody to come to our rescue. There's something that we can do. The U.S. and Cuba signed an oil spill preparedness and response agreement. We can utilize that agreement to do something to help the people of Cuba. But I think the authors of the article really summed it up quite nicely in terms of where we can go from here to turn this thing around, because we can do something. Just because, we ain't doing much now doesn't mean it has to be the reality. We can turn this around right now. But they said, this is an opportunity to show compassion, regional cooperation, environmental responsibility, and overall to be a good neighbor. That's it. Overall, just show that we can be a good neighbor. We must get in there and help the citizens of Cuba in their time of need.